the Living Chosen podcast, Leaving a Legacy of Faith, a podcast where we embrace the call to leave a lasting legacy of faith in Jesus. I'm Terry.
And I'm Haley, and together we're diving into what it means to walk with Jesus and share his love with the next generation.
As a mother and daughter, we believe faith is more than just words. It's a way of life, a gift to be passed down, and a foundation for the future.
Each episode will share heartfelt stories, biblical truths, and real conversations about living out our faith with purpose and passion.
Whether you're raising children, mentoring young women, or simply seeking encouragement in your walk with Christ, this podcast is for you.
Let's journey together as we build a legacy of faith that endures for generations.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Living Chosen podcast. First, we just want to say thank you to all the people that have reached out with encouragement to us. We appreciate you more than you know, and we're excited to continue to do this podcast together. We also want to let you know that not only do we have Jacob, my son, in the room today producing our podcast, but we also have
our very first special guest, our little my nephew. I guess he calls you Rue, right?
Right, he calls me Rue.
Our little baby, and we love him oh so much.
Yes, so if you hear baby noises in the background, we have Hayes here today, and we're super excited to have him here.
He's wonderful.
So our topic today is music, and we don't see eye to eye on this necessarily, but we're not like far apart on how we feel about music. So, Haley, do you want to start by telling us how you feel about? Do you want me to start and tell you how I tried to make y'all growing up feel about music, or do you want to start?
No, I can start.
You start.
So, if you didn't know, I love music. I've been singing since I was 3 years old. And I am now a worship leader at a wonderful church, and I love it oh so much. Like my mom said earlier, we do have a little bit of different opinions when it comes to music. So for me, I do believe that what you put into your mind and what you put in through your ears to your mind is very, very, very important in every aspect. And so for me, how I view it really in the simple terms is I try to always fill my mind with things that are good, things that are not bad. So I'm not going to you're not going to see me in a car listening to a rap song talking about drugs and just things that really just bring a negative connotation. But you might sometimes hear me vibing out to some Forrest Frank that maybe doesn't talk about God specifically, but his songs are so fun and so positive. I really enjoy his music a lot. And really my viewpoint on the whole secular music is, again, like my mom said, she will say, what you put into your mind is extremely important. And I do believe that you can fall very easily down a path of secular music, and it can take you and separate you from the Lord. Anything that's not of the Lord can separate you from the Lord. And so you have to be careful, and you have to take it seriously. I know a lot of people would probably say, oh, that's so religious of you to never listen to secular music, which in some cases it can become a religious thing, but also you also need to think about it in the sense of, is this something that is separating me from God? And if it is, then maybe take a break from secular music altogether. I know that my brother said once that his goal for a year was to only listen to worship music. He wanted his Spotify Wrapped to be only worship music, which for him that was great and it was awesome. And I'm not telling you to do that, but I do think that for me individually is just I have to be filling my mind with things that are good. Maybe it's, I don't know, some Tori Kelly every now and then where it's so good, or even this song Feeling Good by Michael Bublé isn't a Christian song, but I love to listen to it because it's fun and it's a good message behind it. And yeah, that's kind of my viewpoint on the whole side of secular music, and I think it's okay to listen to in moderation.
I think that you probably know more about music than I do. You're definitely more musically inclined than I am, right? Do you agree, Haley?
No,
I was trying to get her to say it.
She is an incredible singer, and she doesn't give herself enough credit.
and you are an incredible singer and gifted musician.
Oh.
And can we talk about for just a minute that you were on American Idol as well?
Oh, yes.
So we're going to have a whole episode about how Haley's experience with American Idol. But I will say that so Haley is all in with music. I believe that it is her anointing. It is her calling. I think that when she sings, the atmosphere in the room changes. When she sings worship music. And so I've told her many times, and I guess I've told all the kids this growing up, that I just didn't like them listening to secular music. And when I was younger, I'm not saying that I didn't listen to secular music. So I loved my granny. Y'all know this. I love my granny. And she loved Elvis. And so I listened to Elvis mostly, even in like high school when all my friends were listening to New Kids on the Block and all this. And I was like, no, I'm not into New Kids on the Block. I love Elvis. I had a crush on Elvis and all the things, right? Because my granny did. And so then all of a sudden, this new singer came out. His name was Garth Brooks. And I was obsessed with him. And I was like, he is the greatest singer of all time. And I bought like all of his tapes. Y'all probably don't even know what that is, some of you. But I bought all of his tapes. And I would like lock myself in my room. And I would like pretend like I was singing with him in concert and things. And then I went to a church camp. And on the way back from this church camp, I felt so convicted that I had like given so much of my time to Garth Brooks and to focusing on Garth Brooks. And not that Garth Brooks wasn't terribly bad. I don't know that I would listen to him now, but he's not terribly bad. He's got some great songs. It was just that I focused so much of my energy on that. So I threw all those Garth Brooks tapes out the window on my way back from the church camp. It was littering. I'm surprised we didn't get pulled over by the police. I feel bad about it. And so I just kind of decided in my mind, I don't even know that I realized that I did it, but I decided that I was going to seek out Christian music. But at that time, we didn't have like a J103 like we do now, or Spotify. You probably don't know what J103 is, do you?
J103.
Okay. We didn't have like Spotify where you could like, sorry, Jacob. Go ahead. You can.
I was gonna say, you don't remember J103.
No, I do remember J103, but
you don't remember J103
weather.
Sorry, I'll go back into the abyss now.
Haley's looking at you like we're not supposed to talk. And so I can remember being in the car with my granny, and Michael W. Smith came on, and he sung the song "Go West, Young Man," and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get this Michael W. Smith tape. And so I started listening to Michael W. Smith, a little bit of Amy Grant, not a lot of Amy Grant. Point of Grace, oh my goodness, they were awesome. Avalon. Y'all know Avalon because I made y'all listen to Avalon all the time.
I do love Avalon.
And so I focused on like just music that like pointed me to Jesus. And I wanted you guys to do that when you were younger. I wanted to always have like Christian music on in the car and things like that. And I don't even know why, but then this guy came to FCA to speak to the leadership of FCA. If you don't know what FCA is, it's Fellowship of Christian Athletes. And I help with the FCA at my school. I teach at a middle school. And he told the leadership group of middle school this story. It resonated with me. He talked about how, and I don't even know, I think this is in Ezekiel, and I don't know if like it actually says it word for word, but somewhere it says that that Satan was over the worship in heaven. He was like he was over music or whatever in heaven. And he talked about how God can do anything, right? He has all kinds of ways that he can bring us to himself and all these things. The devil doesn't. The devil's not all knowing. He doesn't have all these different schemes and things that he can play on us. But one thing the devil does know is music. And so he said, we better guard our hearts, what we're letting into our hearts through music, because the devil knows music. And it just stuck with me. And I know that, Jacob, you were probably in high school. You were probably in middle school. And it was such a big thing that I wanted to guard your hearts too, as much as I could. I probably made it too much of a deal. But, because not only is that a thing? But if you look in the Bible, there's so many times that the Lord talks about singing and worship and how they won battles through worship and through song. And so I just wanted to make sure that it was something in our home, and Dewey too, your dad too, you know this, like it was important to him that we focused on Jesus in everything that we did almost. And so I wanted to make it a priority for us.
Yeah.
And so, did I go extreme? I don't know. Do you think I went extreme?
I mean, I think what you're talking about, especially kids. I think especially kids. I know that I'm very thankful that I was raised by you when it came to music and worship, just because my mind was filled with worship 24/7, and I didn't even have to worry about the secular music side of things. And, now I have friends that their minds are constantly consumed by these ugly songs that are saying these ugly things. And what's crazy is a lot of the times I do this sometimes where I'm scrolling through TikTok and I'm singing a song not realizing what the song means, and it's a terrible meaning, and I'm speaking that out and I'm letting this consume my mind, and I'm like, whoa, what am I doing? And so I think especially as kids, where your brains are developing, your hearts are developing, your everything's developing, I think that as kids it's really important to fill your minds with worship. Also, I think that, like, when you were talking, I just kept thinking about it. Like, if secular music can easily become an idol in someone's life so easily. There's a song that's called Clear the Stage, and in the bridge it says, anything I put before my God is an idol. Anything I want with all my heart is an idol. Anything I can't stop thinking about is an idol. If there's a song in your mind and and you're constantly singing this song that's like, I'm getting drunk every night. I mean, if you're thinking about that 24/7, that's becoming an idol. Even if it's not a long-term idol, it can be a short-term idol, and that's not good. And so I think that it's super smart to fill your mind with things that are good. And so for me, in this grand scheme of things, like I said earlier, Forrest Frank, his songs are so fun and they're so good, and they talk about just enjoying life and enjoying summertime and doing all these things. And I love his music because it might not say God is good, but it's talking about God's creation. And to me, in a sense, it's a song that's created in the image of God without having to say, hey, this is about God.
And it's about joy, and it's not about
joy.
And like you said, the Michael Bublé song.
Like that feeling good. I think it's awesome when it talks about it's a new dawn, it's a new day. My brother actually sent me, I was singing it for something once, and my brother sent me how I can relate that song to Christ. Like, we get the opportunity to have a new dawn and a new day, and I'm feeling good. And it's really, I think that song in itself, you can turn it into something good.
When you sing, do you feel different when you sing worship songs over secular songs?
100,000%. I can sit here, I can sit here and just say that I've sung secular music and I've sung worship music. And the thing about secular music is it's not even that God isn't in the midst of it. It's just in the sense of when I'm singing worship music, I don't have to worry. It's not about my performance. It's not about who's watching, who's judging. Even in American Idol, I was horrified and terrified. Just a brief thing with my audition, because it wasn't about like, I don't have to perform in front of these people. That's all it was about. I had to perform in front of these people. But when I'm singing a worship song and I'm focusing my gaze on the Lord, it brings me so much peace, because all he cares about, he doesn't care at all about how good is Haley going to sound. Like, that's not what he's caring about.
Right.
He's only caring about, I'm so thankful that Haley is doing this.
Your heart. Where's it coming from?
Where's
your
his
heart?
Yeah.
I think one of the things that worry me too, and this is just having middle school kids, we help with youth and things like that. As a parent, it's not just the words that the songs are saying, but it's the people singing them nowadays too.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
And I don't want to call any artist out, because I don't want to offend people, but I would just pray, like, Lord, like, God has entrusted you with these children for a very small amount of time, right? And I believe that you pray this protection around them, right? And you pray, Lord, guard their heart and point their eyes to you and all the things. And then we put somebody in front of them, and some even like celebrate it with them, that everything they do is contradicting what God's word says.
Yeah.
But they sing good and they have really good performances and they can dance on stage. And so we kind of like shield our eyes to it maybe, or we don't want, like we want our kids to fit in with everyone else. I don't know what it is, but I think it's so important that we remember that we're praying protection over our kids. Don't let us be somebody that takes that protection off for a minute because we want to have fun or to be popular or this sounds good or all that, you fill in the blank for that one too. But that's a worry of mine. It's not just the words. Sometimes the words can be okay. It's the person that you're allowing your kid to look up to that's singing it too.
Oh, yeah.
I'll say, hello, it's me again. I just want to say, sorry, I'm not trying to interject here.
We'll cut this out later.
Yeah, I know. I just want to say, Beyonce had the best music video of all time. I'm kidding. No, but,
oh, mercy.
Anyway, I'll cut that out, Pearl. But, so, I also was there in the car whenever we only listened to secular music.
Only listen to secular music?
Not secular, I mean worship music. Oh my gosh.
Gotcha.
How dare you?
Anyway, no, and I'll say, even though I'm glad we did that, because even though I don't prescribe to that now, I do think it makes me think about like what you just said, and that's what I want to talk about. Like, I know you said you don't want to say specific people, but for me, I love Panic at the Disco, right? Especially in high school, I loved Panic at the Disco.
I don't even know who that is.
They're this awesome.
What?
Okay, they're. I was about to say awesome band. I used to think they were this awesome band, but I started like when I would listen to their music, I'd be like, man, there's just something off about it. And so I started doing more research and started looking into it. And the only reason I'm interjecting is I would say if you're not, because I know it's a hard pill to accept, and it's not even one that I prescribe to fully about, oh no, just worship music. But if you are going to listen to secular music, I would say at least do some research on the people who you are listening to. Because like the Panic at the Disco people, I love their music. It's hard for me still. There are sometimes I'm like, man, I really want to listen to some of their songs. But after doing some research, the lead singer, they name their songs after faith terms. So that way when people search like hallelujah and stuff like that, their stuff is the first thing that comes up. And it's like, if you're not going to take the stance of, well, everything I listen to needs to be worship, I would say as a Christian, I would at least strive to not support people who are actively going out of their way to undermine Christianity and faith and Jesus and things like that. And like, that was going to be my 2 cents there.
Oh, that's good.
Sorry
That's
about
good.
that.
Very good.
No, very good.
You're not allowed to talk on this podcast.
I was about to say, back to the abyss.
I'm glad that, back to the abyss. I'm glad you said that too, because I was going to say something along the lines is, like you said, I think it's very important to know the artists that you are listening to. I was very into this one pop singer, and I like loved her music, and honestly, some of her music wasn't even good, right? Some of it wasn't good and pleasing to the Lord, some of the stuff she said, but it was vibey, and it was like, well, this is fun. And then like I watched a video of her talking, and she just blatantly like makes fun of Jesus, blatantly on a stage. And I'm thinking to myself, and it even convicted me because I even had a cover of me singing one of her songs on my page, and I took it off. I took it off everything because I was like, I don't ever want to send someone to an artist who might send them away from the King. Good. I don't ever want to do that. I don't ever want to send somebody to an artist, make them like them, let them see. I mean, the artists that you're letting your kids listen to have the biggest influence over them. Celebrities have the biggest influence over kids. So even if you're listening to, oh my goodness, but this one song is so fun, like you definitely need to rethink what you're doing, because the artists you listen to, like Jacob said, like my mom said, has a huge effect on people. A huge effect. Hayes believes so too. I mean, he's
like, I can't believe this.
He's like, I can't believe you guys would even think
I would just take that whole onesie off him. I think he's burning up. Okay, I'll end with this. One last thing, and this has nothing to do with music. I hope one day Priscilla Shire will be on our podcast. Shout out to her. I think she's amazing, and I've listened to her since she's been out now. But when y'all were little, on the way home, we would listen to Moody Radio. Every Monday, I would drive down to my mom's, which is in Chickamauga, Georgia. So it was like an hour back. and we would listen to Moody Radio, and Tony Evans would speak for about 45 minutes. We just happened to hit on our ride home that Tony Evans would speak, and we would listen to him. And y'all were little, like 4, 6, 8, and 10. But I believe even that, listening to that instead of secular music, was life-changing for you.
Yes.
I don't even think you could understand it all, but I think you understood a lot of it. All right, here we go, guys. We want to hear your opinion. What do you think about secular music? Because we don't have all the answers. Well, we have most of the answers. No, we don't have all the answers. So comment on our videos. Please like and subscribe. Is that the word, Jacob?
Subscribe.
You can find us on YouTube and
I think it's follow.
Oh,
on the
follow.
podcast. Like and follow and comment.
like, follow, comment. Find us on Spotify. Share with your friends.
I usually put a poll in here, so
do the polls. Thanks for being with us today, guys. You're great.